Hello, I'm Minus Thinking, and I hope you liked the video enough to like and subscribe. Scissor 7 is a 2018 anime, which I'm not sure if it classifies as an anime, honestly, because it's made in China, and most animes I know, at least, are made in Japan. But nonetheless, that is the best way I could describe it, I guess. Scissor 7 is a Chinese anime made in 2018 and directed and written by, excuse me for pronunciation, He Zhao Feng with Aya Entertainment. I just looked it up, and apparently, like, the Chinese anime, I guess you could say, is different from Japan anime. Because according to like a Google search, uh, Chinese animes are called Doongahao. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. Actually, you scratch that. I'm definitely wrong, but it's just essentially, according to like the definition, is just the Chinese word for animation, referring specifically to animated works produced in China. Which I don't know about you, but that sounds like just Chinese anime to me. So yeah, I believe Scissor Seven is a Chinese anime, or Dongaha. While anime, according to Google, is like defined as a style of Japanese film and TV animation typically animated at adults, though typically aimed at adults as well as children. So I'm pretty confident Scissor Seven is more on the Chinese side. Scissor Seven follows main character Seven, who is an assassin who lives on an island and forgot his memory after an incident. And the whole series, after season 2 at least, is mostly just him trying to remember who he is, alongside who is essentially just his mentor, Daibo, who is a fat chicken who just serves as like the mentor and gives Scissor most of his tools, while also gaining help from his nephew, Zai 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 Zhao Fei. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce these names, but yeah, Zhao Fei, who is a flying chicken because his mom was part pigeon, and is able to just become really buff for some reason. I'm not sure what that is about. The anime is also pretty weird too. Like, they do a bunch of stuff that's weird, and weirdly it works for the series. Like, normally I would just say that's just a gimmick, but it does so much more. Like, there's characters that like seem weird, but they're actually just like surprisingly like thought out for characters you think wouldn't be, because like it's just great, honestly. Like, the characters are honestly pretty good, and like I said, there's just no character in this like whole series that just seems bad. If you were to ask me what my favorite character was in the whole series, I think I'd spend like 5 minutes thinking about who was it my favorite. Mostly because every character, no matter how minor they are, leave a impact on you. Because no one in the series shows up just because. They're all pretty well thought out. Like, they have like their motives, backstories, like everything like that you would need to make a good character. And it's honestly pretty impressive, because it's like I've seen shows that are like more famous and well known that can't even do that, and it's honestly pretty good. I like that's a great aspect to have in any TV show, and for this like Chinese anime I've not seen people talk about is like criminal. Honestly, I think more people should be talking about this. Is Scissor Seven good? Yeah, no, there's no point in like hyping it up. You already know by how I was talking about it before. Yeah, it's good. Honestly, the story's great, and the story follows like a basic anesthesia. Well, not basic, because that would make it sound like the story's pretty bad, but in reality, it's pretty good. Like, it's anesthesia plotline, but it does it pretty well. Like, last time I was interested in an anesthesia plotline was with Joe Jolian for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and spoilers for people who haven't seen that part, but in it, is like the main character lost his memory and is just the whole part is just him revolving, trying to find out who he is. But later on, we find out that due to this this special fruit, like he's actually two people combined into one, and like it's pretty interesting too because with that premise they make like it's such a big twist because you're like, oh, who is this person? Oh, he may be this guy, or he could be this guy, but no, in reality he's actually just two people. And it's pretty interesting too because with it they make like a whole like, oh, you're like you like he is his own person, he can decide his own destiny, he is a unique person, like unique to himself, he's not anyone else, so he's not held back to who he was. But with Scissor Seven, he's still the same guy. He has like, he's still the same guy. He just doesn't have his memories. But still, even then, without like doing a twist like Joe Jolien, it's still like entertaining nonetheless. Because even though like you can predict, oh, he just did some stuff and then lost his memory and all that, yada yada. But, like, still, the story itself was pretty interesting. From his upbringings to how he became an assassin to why he lost his memory to how he's doing now is pretty interesting. And honestly, it's amazing. Honestly, like the story one of the few shows I've deeply been interested in and waiting like intensely for like new seasons and content to be released. And like apparently they're planning on making 7 or 8 seasons of it in total, and honestly I cannot wait. I'll be willing to like wait a while for those seasons. And currently we're at season 5 right now, and I finished the whole show, and honestly I was when I finished it I was thinking, man, I really want more. So overall I would recommend like the whole series, honestly. Like it's on Netflix, and I know Netflix has a pretty bad like reputation. Like I know like Netflix, like when Steel Ball Run released its first episode, a lot of people hated it, and it's also known for canceling pretty good shows like Inside Job and all that. But for some reason, Netflix is just, from what I've seen at least, has left this show alone. Honestly, like maybe they did like a terrible batch release, but I'm not sure of that. But it's on Netflix, and honestly, I would say it's one of the best shows I've seen on Netflix. That's exclusive to it itself. Granted, there's also like Breaking Bad, which is a pretty good show, and I, I'm not sure. Like, I haven't seen Breaking Bad, but it's considered like one of the best shows of all time. So I don't think one of the best shows of all time could realistically pair it with Scissor Seven, or at least in my opinion. But I haven't seen Breaking Bad, so that could change. But no, I think honestly, I would say Scissor Seven is worth the worth the Netflix subscription, and I bet you will too when you finish the whole series. Cause like the series as a whole is just, it's honestly gold. Honestly, it's more of, I would say the show's better than gold. Honestly, I would say it's like platinum or antimatter or whatever like the most valuable thing in the world is. It is honestly just like a gem in the rough, honestly. Like no show could beat it in my opinion, at least animated wise, except like in terms of comedy, I think Smiley Friends is better, but in terms of like Smiley for like of comedy and series and story, I would say Scissor Seven like beats out a lot of shows, honestly. Well, I would say that it's honestly harder to find reasons not to watch the show. Maybe if you're like not into comedies or like Chinese, I guess. There's really no reason. Like, I'm trying to think, why wouldn't you want to watch it? But there really isn't any reason at all not to watch the show. Like, even like the show is honestly better. This is a hot take, but I would be willing to say this: Scissor Seven is better than most animes that I've seen. Granted, not there's like I can name a few animes that are better, I would say, but Scissor Seven definitely beats out a lot of them. Hell, even a lot of animated shows. Cause Invincible, I love the show Invincible. Like I recently just finished like the most recent season, and even I have to admit the animation isn't as good as it like isn't good as the animation isn't as good as it is in Scissor Seven. Like Scissor Seven blows Invincible animation out the water, and it's great. I love like the animation. It's so fluent. It's so nice. It brings character. Like it has a unique art style. Well, I would say it has a pretty good art style, but unique one, I'm not quite sure. But still, like honestly, I think you should go watch it right now after you like the video, and I honestly hope more people would talk about it because it's just a beauty. Honestly, like the show's great, and I don't really hear much about like the fandom like about of Scissor Seven, so I hope it's not dead. Like, but it's pretty good. It deserves more love, honestly. But yeah, I think overall, like there really isn't any reason why you shouldn't watch it. So yeah, no, if only like 5 people watch this video, and at least one person who's never heard of the show or like has ever seen it at all, even glimpses or anything like that, and like they decide to watch it, like I would consider that like a huge success in my eyes. Because honestly, I just want like anyone to watch the show. Honestly, like I watched it back in like I think 2023, and I thought, oh man, this show is really funny. And I think honestly, someone should be able to experience that feeling too. So yeah, I think that should be all for my reader review. Also, R.I.P. Smiling Friends. Love that show. Hey everyone, I just thought I'd like I was looking at the video and I saw that it was shorter than my usual video, so I thought I'd like increase the length of the video by adding in this part and just talk about some recent stuff that's happened. And season 2 of the wait, no, was it season 2? Yeah, season 2. I already made a review on that, so what am I talking about? No, I meant like so the newest season of Invincible is coming out, and I believe it's still making episodes by the time of me recording this part. So yeah, I think it's pretty good so far. If if I would make a review, well, I'm probably gonna make a review. Well, scratch that. I'm definitely gonna make a review at one point, but I'm probably just gonna have to like wait until like a good chunk, or at least yeah, like when the Invincible series is nearing its end, because I don't want to like cover it early, I guess. And another thing was Steel Ball Run episode 1 came out, and I was gonna make a community post saying how hyped it was and great it was, and then I was gonna make another community post about hey Netflix, release Steel Ball like Run episode 2 and all that, but I just never got around to because I was busy, and I figured I'd just include that in this bit. And I think season 1, as a big JoJo fan, I really liked episode 1 of Steel Ball Run. I thought it was great personally, and I'm really excited to see now that Netflix announced that it was weekly. Now that I'm excited to see that like the hype that part 5 had is gonna be like alive, you know? Because I wasn't into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when back when we like weekly releases and all that. I got into like the series after part 6 after like the end of the second batch of part 6, no, third batch I believe of part 6. And I just watched the whole series, and I didn't know about the batch release, so I was like, oh man, this show's great. Why do people hate this part? And yeah, maybe the batch release is kind of a good part why people hate it, but that's neither here or there. I think I honestly might do a review for parts 1 through 6, and then I'm not sure if I'll just rank part 7 and up individually, or I'll just cover them all at once. Because part 9 is the part 9 manga is currently being written, and I'm partially into it. I'm partially into yeah, I was gonna say a spoiler, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, I'm a good chunk, well, a quarter. I think that's a good way of putting it. A quarter of the way in, and I like it so far. It's glad to see that Araki is still making works. And so I think with that in mind, I think I'll just most likely review the parts separately, as opposed to just wait until all the series comes out. Because part 8 took a really long time to release. Like, I believe it was started in, shoot, I'm not sure actually. I knew it took a long time, but I'm not quite sure. I would do research normally, but like I just kind of just a freestyle, I guess, like improvising the spot because of how short the runtime was. So yeah, no, I'm glad that that I got to talk about like Scissor Seven. I think it's really good, and you should honestly go watch it if you haven't considered watching it. Um, as for next week, I'm planning on talking about like something more obscure. No, maybe not something obscure. I'm not sure what I'm gonna talk about 100% next week, but I plan on like changing like how obscure and well known and good or bad or whatever. Like sometimes, or like one video I want to be talking about the movie that about like a good amount of people know about, then talk about like some movie that no one's ever heard of, etc. Like I just thought, yeah, I'll just mix it up every now and then. So yeah. As for next week, what I'm gonna talk about, next week currently as a recording, I think. But yeah, what I'll talk about next video, I'm not sure. I would have to think about that and maybe set up like a Russian roulette, like a roulette wheel just to decide what to talk about. But no, that should be it. Thank you for watching. I'm Honest Thinking, and thank you for watching.